Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Ken Bufa. Newsday is now projecting Tom Suozzi as the winner in the race for the 3rd Congressional District. He was facing Republican-backed Mazi Pilip. Now, Suozzi's supposed to talk in just a moment, but until we get there, let's talk a little bit about how he got to this point. So what factors played in? We had the weather as one big one. What other ones do you think?
Well, we're taking a look at Jay Jacobs up there right now on the screen, and I can tell you that it kind of went the way he thought it might go earlier in the day. To him, the factors were Dems came out on top in early voting. Dems came out on top in election day votings. Dems came out on top in mail-in voting.
And let's go now, because I believe that Tom Suozzi is taking the stage with his family there. He's obviously in a very good mood, so we're going to send it out there to his headquarters in Woodbury.
You look beautiful. I am. Go back. Everybody back. Anything else? Signs down. Thank God. Let me just enjoy this for one more minute, okay? Okay. Okay. Okay, all right. Despite all the attacks, despite all the lies about Tom Suozzi and the squad, about Tom Suozzi being the godfather of the migrant crisis, about Sanctuary Suozzi, despite the dirty tricks, despite the vaunted Nassau County Republican machine, we won. Now, we know that this race was fought in a district with a...
last 4 months, it's really going
I love America. This race was fought amidst a closely divided electorate, much like our whole country. This race was centered on immigration and the economy, much like the issues all across our country. We won this race. You won this race. Because we addressed the issues and we found a way to bind our divisions. You know, what we just saw with the protest tonight, okay? There are divisions in our country where people can't even talk to each other. All they can do is yell and scream at each other. And that's not the answer to the problems we face in our country. The answer is to try and bring people of goodwill together to try and find that common ground. We won this campaign because the people of Queens and Long Island. Let's hear it for Queens. Let's hear it for Long Island. 80-20. It's an 80-20 district. Let's hear it for labor. But the people of Long Island and Queens are sick and tired of the political bickering. They've had it. They want us to come together and solve problems. So now we have to carry the message of this campaign to the United States Congress and across our entire country. It's time to move beyond the petty partisan bickering and the finger pointing. It's time to focus on how to solve the problems. It's time to get to work on immigration, on Israel, on combating Putin, on helping the middle class, and on getting the state and local tax deduction back. Let's send a message to our friends running the Congress these days. Stop running around for Trump and start running the country. It's time to find common ground and start delivering for the people of the United States of America. The people are watching. They want us to start working together. So our message is very clear. Either get on board or get out of the way. To the people in this room and to our friends throughout this whole campaign, thank you so much for sticking with me. We've all seen what politics has become. And in this campaign, we try to give a vision of what it could be. Let's take our country back from the dividers. You know that no external force is ever going to beat the United States of America. The only way we're going to be in trouble is if we let ourselves continue to be divided from within. So this whole campaign, the whole campaign has been about how do we communicate to people that we can be better if we work together to try and solve the problems we face in our country. And that's the message. That's the message that resonated with the people in this campaign. This was a really tough campaign. And we only won because of that message and because of all of you. So listen, do you want to take the country back from the people who are trying to divide it? Are you with me in that fight? Are we going to keep on working until we hold politicians accountable when they just try to use issues for weaponization to try and destroy the other guys instead of actually solving the problems to make people's lives better? That's what we've got to do in this country. I've got to thank a whole bunch of people. I'm never going to be able to thank everybody by name, Anthony. So let me just be very clear, okay? I want to start by thanking the chairman of the Nassau County Democratic Party, Jay Jacobs, and the Nassau County Democratic Party. I want to thank the chairman of the Queens Republican Party, Greg Meeks, and did I say Republican? I don't want to thank the chairman of the Queens Republican Party. I want to thank the chairman of the Queens Democratic Party, Greg Meeks, and the Queens Democratic Party for selecting me as the candidate to run in this race. I am so grateful for this honor. I want to say this is the best campaign I've ever been involved with in my entire life. It's been amazing. I've got to thank my best friend, the best partner anybody could ever have in their life, who's put up with so much. Let's hear it for Helene Suozzi. And our daughter Caroline, who worked so much on the campaign, Michael and Joseph. I got to thank our awesome campaign staff. Unbelievable. Led by John Gonin, our campaign manager. My advisor for the past 23 years, Kim Devlin. And the great Nick Ryan.
All right, that is Tom Suozzi talking to the crowd after his projected win over Republican candidate Mazi Pilip. There's a lot of things he said in that speech, and we'll get to in a moment, but started off by saying, "You're beautiful," talking to the room, and "thank God." Tell me a little bit what the insight is, what he might be thinking after that tough race that he mentioned.
Well, I got to tell you, I've seen Tom Suozzi in a lot of different races. He is absolutely insanely happy with this one. And he said this was a hard race. And in fact, it was a hard race. I don't think anybody knew until we got to the end which way this was going to go. And you knew that as you talked to both sides, even going through Election Day. So he knows he did well. And the way he's positioned himself and the way he's talking, is this the beginning of the race for the presidency, the race to retake Congress for Democrats?
That's right. He said in his quote was, "We have to carry the message of this campaign to the United States Congress and the entire country." Essentially, he's hammering that unity, that folks are tired of division and that unifying is the clear answer. How important was that message when he mentioned it just now?
Well, he mentioned it many, many times. He says, stop running around for Trump and start
running the country.
And let's take this country back from the dividers. I think we've heard that before with red states, blue states, with Barack Obama. But the question here is, this was not just a close campaign; it was a vicious campaign, the likes of which I haven't seen in a very, very long time. And he goes through some of the things. This was also a campaign that the national parties were very, very, very invested in. And this is also a campaign where Democrats on Long Island, you realize, of course, that this is the first time in like 3 election cycles that Democrats have prevailed, that with this race, we don't have 4 Republicans in Congress anymore. We have 1 Democrat and 3 Republicans in Congress. For Long Island, this, is this a turn, or is this simply, again, it's going to be a national election year. That's when the Democrats turn out.
Now, of course, if there is a victory speech, there has to be a concession speech. And just before Suozzi took the stage, Mazi Pilip spoke to her supporters and conceded the race.
We are fighters. Yes, we lost, but it doesn't mean we're going to end here. I think.
We are fighters, and yes, we lost, but it doesn't end here. What does that mean?
Well, look, November's coming, and there will be a race for this seat again. But there's going to be a couple of changes.
Yeah.
This week, you have a redistricting committee voting on new lines for that district.
That's Thursday.
That is Thursday.
Okay.
So what is that district going to look like? So Tom Suozzi will have to run again. Don't know who his Republican opponent is going to be. Will it be Ms. Pilip? I don't know. But the district is going to be different. It's going to be a national presidential campaign when more people come out, as opposed to today when very, very few people came out to vote today.
Well, the weather played a huge factor, but then that weather also amplified the importance of early voting and absentee ballots. Tell me how that changed.
Well, what happened was you saw both sides looking at the weather reports and going, whoa. So over the weekend, both of them went out and they tried to get their voters to come in early. Dems have been doing that. Early voting what are we in the 4th year only in New York State? Then there was a change in state law that allowed you to do mail-in votes, and you didn't have to give a reason, basically. So again, the parties are pushing to get their people to get those mail-in votes, those absentee ballots in early. Then there was Election Day, and I think the snow hurt Republicans on Election Day, because the Republicans, they always used to say, hey, you know, we come out to vote on Election Day. And the turnout overall in this election is incredibly small. Now, it is a small district, but it looks to be smaller than the number of people who came out in the same district in 2022.
Between the candidates, the weather, the campaigning, it was a special election indeed. Thank you, as always, Joy Brown, for your wonderful insight. And stay tuned to Newsday TV for the latest on this special election. You can also read more on Newsday.com. Just click Get More below the Newsday TV video box. You're watching Newsday TV. Thanks for watching our coverage of this special election.